Good afternoon to all of you, or evening, maybe, almost. Please state your name for the record and proceed with your comment.
Good afternoon, my name is Dr. Nolane L. Fontaine. Well, first off, I'd like to thank you, Chair Gaultier. I am a lifelong resident of Chester, Pennsylvania. I'm a veteran, and Chester, PA, of course, is the traditional land of the Lenape and the Okihakan. I serve as the president of Urban Indian Heritage Society, but I am here today as a Chester resident concerned for quality of living member, a circle member, to advocate on how this polluting industry and the amount of trash sent to 19013 has an often mortal effect on our lungs and livelihood. I currently serve as the youth coordinator for Choices, which is our youth environmental leadership group. And unfortunately, working with those students, more than half of my students have either asthma or a COPD-related ailment. However, our students are resilient. They are academics, artists, athletes, AI designers, and full of alacrity. They also have spearheaded a musical resurgence around the issue of trash and the ability to breathe clean air in Chester. Now, you have probably seen the consultant reports that Reworld has provided today from multiple sources. I can assure you, though, our students, along with the amount of algebra homework, a shoestring budget, and TikTok accounts, have single-handedly taken back over the narrative of greenwashing that has been perpetuated by our nation's largest trash incinerator. Now, I do want to let folks know I am absolutely pro-worker, and I come from a working-class family. But let's talk about why the working class in our specific areas always get some kind of weird, toxic, roll-up-your-sleeve jobs. I'm tired of our people getting the short end of the stick. Philly, you're a very good neighbor. You can change this with this act, Resolution 250769. In regards to our other neighbor, Covanta Reworld, trash incinerator, who has went through more name changes than the Kardashians combined in the past myriad of years. But believe me, Covanta Reworld is much more odious in how they exploit, right, our employees in our community. Now, Chair, you brought up a good point about the Clean Air Act. And it was only last month when we were at the Delco Solid Waste Authority where Covanta Reworld touted that the average mercury concentration was 2.3 milligrams without activated carbon. They plan on putting an active charcoal filter on within the next 12 months. Yet, have they even completed the procurement paperwork? I don't know. Where's the urgency? Where's the empathy? Nowhere I can find it. But Chair, if you find it, let me know. Now ask yourself, is that neighborly? Years ago, I could recall when a thermometer with mercury could shut down a whole school and prompt the top story slot at 6 ABC or Fox 29 News. But now, am I to believe that the pollution propaganda of 2.3 milligrams of over 9 square miles in Chester is okay? Please stop playing in our face. I'm here today to remind Covanta Reworld that this is not a corporatocracy. This is a constitutional republic. You have no power here. To the committee, to Chair Gaultier, to Vice Chair Bass, to council, to your constituents, I applaud you for your efforts in moving the Stop Trash in Our Air Act forward for the livelihood of our families and our next 7 generations. In the spirit of American Indian Heritage Month, I ask the council to remember the Treaty of Shakamaxon, extended by one of my many tribes, the Lenape, where we agreed we would live in peace. But unfortunately, the trash sent from Philly feeds the environmental polluting war machine and aids the lungs of the people of Chester and Delaware County to continue to be polluted. In the words of Ms. Nolane Mayfield, there is no Wakanda shield over Chester that prevents this particulate matter from dissipating to every nook and cranny of our region. We have no vibranium, we only have vitality.
Can I ask, oh, sorry, go ahead.
In closing, I'll shorten it. This is not a Roberta Flack or Fuji's Eliki. Please stop killing us softly. I would like to thank this committee, Vice Chair, Chair Gaultier, Councilman O'Rourke, appreciate you staying. And hearing my testimony, I look forward to seeing this resolution come to floor for first reading. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Please state your name for the record and proceed with your testimony.
My name is Margaret Brown, and I'm here on behalf of Chester, the Chester incinerator. This would be a great day for all of us to be alive, breathing clean, healthy, fresh air. Chester residents want to do this, to do just that. Be alive, be healthy. I'm skipping so many parts because it was already said. You have been to Chester and you viewed our incinerator and the neighborhood that it stands in. The neighborhood did not used to look like that. I lived there all my life. We desperately want Philadelphia not to renew the contract. Chester is a polluted city of 35-plus citizens being challenged in a war of economics, fear, crime, greed, power, and systematic racism. We don't ask, nor do we want it to continue to be this way. We don't merely want the trash to go away, we want the incinerator to go away. Environmental justice for good quality air is at its worst. The atmosphere has caused so many problems to the citizens and those beyond. We deal with cancer, our children, lung and heart disease as adults. They have the poorest asthma in the city and the state of Pennsylvania. It not only causes the health issues, but it causes learning disabilities. I live on a street 3 blocks from the incinerator. On a daily basis, I don't watch all the time. By the time I can come out at 2 in the morning and see trucks lined up from the Commodore Barry Bridge all the way down to the incinerator. At times when people get up for work and things, they don't let traffic on the side streets out. And this can go on till 2 o'clock in the afternoon. On my block, there are only 14 livable homes, and that means there's people in them. People have died and the homes stay vacant and they just go away, they tear down. Of those 14 homes, 12 people have died of cancer within the last 7 to 8 years. My mother died of cancer. I have an aunt died of cancer. I just had a cousin. Today is a month that we funeralized her. She went to the doctor in March, find out she had cancer, and she's gone already. It took her away. She had multiple cancers with really no signs of it until the end. Chester truly deserves better. Its future partially depends on Philadelphia's decision to say no to renewing your contact. Breathing cancer causes particles can and does kill. I had my phone, a sound of the furnace that burns the trash. At nighttime, you lose sleep because it's that loud, and it blinked off. But you can hear, like I said, I'm just 3 blocks away, the sound coming through a closed window that I thought for a long time there was airplanes driving over my house. That's how loud it is.
Do you want some time to find that and play it for us, or was that not what you were suggesting?
I didn't. I'd have to get it, which one it was.
You can, and once you wrap up your testimony, if you would like to play that for us, you can have time to find it.
And then
Yeah.
I'll come back and play it for you. The asthma with children in school, I worked in the Chester School District for 38 years. We didn't have nurses every day for children. I myself had 2 children that grew up with asthma. I know what it is. The girl went to the girls' school and the boy went to the boys' school. But I know what it is from elementary school on to get a call from a teacher or the principal saying, you have to bring their medicine up. It got to the point that I found another alternative. Both schools were next to hospitals. One Sacred Heart and one up in Darby, the hospital up there next to the schools. That it was arranged that instead of me running the medicine there, twice a week they were walked by another student with their parents' permission to take my boy and my girl to the hospital to get a shot or get a treatment for asthma, because at times they would forget their inhalers. 2 grandchildren attended the school I worked in. They didn't know what it was for a long time to go out to lunch because they had to come and sit by my desk and take nebulizer treatments. My great niece had a baby last year. It was born, they rushed it to ICU, wasn't breathing properly. They only did a 24-hour watch to keep the baby. The baby was sent home. She died 7 days later, lung problems. So I'm begging, I know the effects what asthma does to children, does to adults. So if there's any way possible, I am asking, as part of a community, to stop the trash from coming to Chester. I myself, I speak very low, because gradually my esophagus is closing up on me. I have no disease but that. I've had all kinds of tests, undetermined diagnosis, but it's closing up, and they can't find why. I had surgery last year, abdominals. My hernia is shrinking, well, the intestines is shrinking, which caused them to remove 4 hernias in my body. And during all the tests I had, they only found 2 until they opened me up and saw 2 more. So like I said, it doesn't just hit lungs, liver, pancreas, and that. It will hit every single organ in your body and not have a cause. All right, thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
find that.
Thank you for being here and for sharing your story. And you said that you spoke softly, but I think you spoke very loudly. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, can you please state your name for the record and proceed with your testimony? And before you go, VP, I just want to also thank you for being here. Thank you for all of your work in advocacy. We would not be here without you. Please state your name for the record and proceed.
Thank you. I am BP Lyles. It's a pleasure to be here before you, Chair Gaultier, for those who have left the Vice Chair, and especially to see you as well, Councilmember O'Rourke. We thank you. I am a nearly 50-year resident of the city of Philadelphia. I have 6 generations at least that are either currently or formerly connected to or residing in this city. I'm going to abbreviate my testimony. So since you all have moved this act forward, I just want to highlight a couple of things that I think are important to think about and to understand. One thing is, regardless of the name that's used for an incinerator, it at the end of the day and at the beginning of the day is still an incinerator. So whether the name that is used is energy technology or thermomechanical treatment facilities, it's still an incinerator. Waste to energy is still an incinerator. What happens is that it's confusing at times to understand where some of the pro-incinerator testimonies are coming from. In fact, the positions almost always come from entities that take money from the incinerator industry. That's important for the city of Philadelphia to know. This is obviously the case for the industry itself, especially Reworld. It's true for scientists like Dr. Marco Castaldi from the City College of New York. He's long been a leading voice in waste-to-energy technology, and as a matter of fact, he's been a part of the Waste-to-Energy Research and Technology Council. This council is a council that involves academics and waste-to-energy professionals, and their intention is to further advance their own cause. Their interest is in promoting waste-to-energy processes and technologies to assist governments and industries and universities and colleges in implementing such technologies in their specific environments. What does that mean? What that means is that we need to follow the money and not just think about a name. The other thing that I want to share with you is that ACOM was hired by Reworld to conduct a study, and I am very pleased with Dr. Ahmad, and I'm very grateful for her calling a spade and calling them on the fact that what they said was nonsense. I would call it foolishness. There's another term. I am from North Philly. There's another term we would use, but I won't say that here. Calling it what it is. ACOM is an engineering company. It is a construction company. Their focus is building buildings. Their focus is in promoting their company. They are, as you heard earlier, flimsy on scientific research at best. And it is imperative that Philadelphia and that the council members who will make this larger decision moving forward understand that if we rely upon industry that promotes itself, and that promotion is about tearing down communities, then the conversation on environmental justice becomes moot. And so Philadelphia is a city that is one currently, we're a mixed bag. We have a lot of good, we have some bad. We have some injustices here, but we have a lot of great things going on in this city. And I believe that what we have an opportunity to do here moving forward is to continue educating the public, letting Philadelphians know and understand how important it is to develop very healthy, very sound, proven ways that are technologically reasonable and ethically sound as it relates to human life and health. So I will never believe that that includes incineration. I will never believe that the toxicity that's emitted from incinerations are ever acceptable. And I will never believe that we, being a big brother or big sister to our neighboring Chester, will have a right or should be involved in the continuation of health disparity. I will also never believe that Philadelphia should continue its really unethical practice of causing other people to suffer harm along with its own citizens. We are, as Councilmember Gaultier said, we are very high on the list of asthma capital and cancer capital in the country. We're number 4 right now. And the reality is we need to do something in order for that to change. So I'm grateful for that you all have decided to move this forward. But in moving it even further, it is imperative that we know who we're listening to and why they're speaking. And it is also important for us to understand that we have an obligation not only to this city, but to the entire region. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks to all of you very much. Will the clerk please call the next several public commenters?